Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4, and today spawning in the southeast corner of the map playing in red we've got Lord Voldemort, representing Team Liquid, also known as Demu of course. He's playing as the Byzantines, and his opponent in the northwest playing in blue we've got the Mongols, played by Kiljari. Welcome everyone to Rocky River. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, of course, depending where you are in the world. Hope you guys are having a great day. It's been a while. It's been a long while, actually. And, you know what? Hands up, I'll apologize. I was thinking about putting out a community post, a message out there about, what I've been up to and why the videos hadn't been, keeping up. Truth be told, every day I thought I was going to be posting something. I genuinely thought, today's the day I'm going to be posting a casted game. I think generally what happened, I kind of burnt myself out. A lot of things kind of built up, in real life. Also, content creation-wise, Stormgate kind of took off a little bit. The game was released in early access recently, so I was kind of focused a bit on that. But I think the big thing is I kind of burnt myself out. I was posting daily videos rather, on Age of Empires 4, and it kind of got a bit much. I think it's a bit tricky to find games, and I don't know, after a while, maybe I started to lose a bit of interest in the game slightly. I can't fully explain it, but I don't know, maybe I think it's a combination of all of that together. I didn't find the time, kind of got a bit burnt out. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to stick with Age of Empires 4. I mean, that's, a game I love, and I love casting the game. But I think the way I'm going to try and make it a bit more sustainable for myself in creating content is I'm probably going to be posting videos maybe every 3 days. I think that's a lot more manageable, right, compared to what it was before. Every day that was a lot, I think. So I think posting every 3 days is a reasonable amount and keeps things ticking along, keeps me in touch with you guys, and helps me manage my time a little bit better and not feel the pressure of posting every day. I think that was a big part of it, actually. I feel like actually in hindsight, I should have recognized I was burning myself out a little bit and actually reducing the frequency before it got, to the tipping point, I guess, in a way. Because bear in mind, of course, content creation isn't my main sort of job, I guess, in a way. I'd love it to be. But for me at this stage in my growth and my channel size, it's not, sustainable as an income. So yeah, I guess, lost a bit of focus. It's more of a passion project, and I think I was overdoing it a little bit. So we'll probably try and commit to maybe a video every 3 days. That's kind of really what I'd love to achieve at least. And we'll see how it goes, play it by ear. Either way, I'd like to support, say a big thank you for everyone who's been supporting the channel, whether it be on Twitch or YouTube, is absolute legends. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, Spearman heading across looks like it possibly could be an outpost rush. Grand Winery being built by 6 villagers. Of course, an awkward spot, being in that forward berry position, makes it a bit difficult for the Byzantines, actually, I've got to say, because they do want to rely on this, because it gives them both food and olive oil. Now, as you guys may know, we have had a new patch for Age of Empires 4. We've had a couple of changes. Olive grove's a bit more expensive now, and that's something to consider. They've been a bit nerfed. The Byzantines, which will see if it makes a big difference or not. There's the outpost now being built by 2 villagers, and that's going to be a problem for Demo, actually. It feels like it's something he's going to want to try and challenge, if he can, at some point. It's a big part of the Byzantine early game, actually, having access to olive oil. We'll see what he does about it. Either way, Rocky River is actually quite a nice map for the Mongols. Whilst the Mongols aren't necessarily the most popular civilization these days, it's a good map for them, for trade, of course. Getting a silver tree could be important. It's something that the Byzantines might struggle to deal with, considering the Mongols having the early bit of aggression, kind of cornering in the Byzantines potentially. We'll see if Demu is able to break out or not. And there is the outpost now being built, and with 5 spearmen garrison inside, it's going to be certainly tricky to deal with that. Silver Tree, the landmark of choice for the Mongols, no real surprises there. I guess the Byzantines being a sort of a Castle Age powerhouse civilization, I guess we're going to be needing a situation where Demo needs to survive for at least a good next sort of 15 minutes, and then you have a good shot of breaking out, I think. But Castle Age is really where it's at for the Byzantines, typically because the olive oil is in there and the cisterns are starting to build up the levels. But this is a big denial. This one outpost is achieving a lot for the Mongols, I've got to say. It's buying himself some time as well for the trade to get up and running once it does. We'll see if the economy gets rocking and rolling for the Mongols quickly. Now, in terms of sort of mercenary contract that Demu possibly could have wanted to go for, Keshiks could have been an option for him to get the mobility But of course, without olive oil, it's going to be a pipe dream. Almost there with the silver tree. It's actually starting the early olive grove transition. This is a bit concerning, right? Because what this means essentially is that he's not going to have too many units too quickly, and that means he's not going to be able to challenge this outpost anytime soon, and he's not going to get to the berries. But having to go to this sort of more sustainable source of food and, of course, olive oil, it'll take some time to get there. But once he does, if he does manage to establish a strong amount of olive groves around his base, he will start to get a really strong economy in that mid-game. Trouble is, he's got to get there. Feudal ages in now for the Mongols, and the silver tree making his way across the map. And there's the archer range. Okay, starting off with an archer range, playing very defensive, of course, at this stage. Bringing a couple more sheep, that'll help with the food income, of course. It's going to need it. Looks like it's going to be coming in with archers himself here, Kiljari. Now with wood level tier 2 up and running, that's going to give him a nice boost on his villages. Extra carry capacity or increased rate of gathering, rather, 14%. And Khan just being harassing a little bit on this wood line. The problem for Demu as well is the wood lines are a bit tricky. He's got this one to fall back to if he needs to. But it isn't ideal. I mean, you know what? If Kiljari could try and get a sneaky outpost here, it could be a problem for this woodline too. Alright, Silver Tree is unpacking, about to get rocking and rolling. Still making that army, heading on across the map. We've got a couple of archers now, Demu, so doesn't want to let the Mongols head on in. He's got the scouting information, just harassing with these with his Khan on the villagers. You know, just going to try and push the Khan away for now. Yeah, but this pressure is just it's incredible from Kiljari, right? It's definitely his playstyle. He loves to do this sort of thing, and it's got so much aggression in him. Town bell gets rung. The blacksmith is now up and running for Demu. Villagers having to escape that wood line. This is a problem. He's going to have to shift to this western wood line, and I think if Kiljari targets this area, this western side of the base, Demu could be under a lot of pressure. He's started to make those traders, it seems. Has he made one just yet? Yeah, it's got some queued up at least. And it should be a very good trade route, very far across the map. And Demu having to play very self-contained in the base at the moment. The Mongols spending everything that they're getting. Full pedal to the metal. 19 military units. Of course, there is a point where Demu might think about going to the Castle Age, and if he does get into bringing guards, could be a bit tricky for feudal age units on the Mongols to deal with that. But with trade now establishing itself, you know, it just takes a couple of seconds of not producing the army for the Mongols, and they can get to the Castle Age themselves. Eventually, once they get the trade up and running. It's a bit of a curious situation for Demu, right? Because he can't really match fire with fire in terms of unit production in this situation. And behind all of this, the Mongols are scaling the economy, so it feels like eventually where this probably has to pan out is Demu building up a standing army and then going to the Castle Age to take advantage of heavily armoured units in the form of the Varangian Guards. But he can't go straight with it without making units. He needs to make sure that he's covered on the way up. Because as soon as he does get to the Castle Age, of course, that's probably a signal for go time for Kiljari to put some pressure. He's got a lot of wood in the bank. He's making another double archery range. He's really going for it. 3 archery ranges. That is a little bit bonkers. For a second, I thought he was going to save up for a second town centre behind the trade even. It's pretty greedy. But of course, he's not doing that. Floating a bit of wood, but he's going to be making more archers, it seems, so he'll be spending that pretty soon. He's picked off a couple of villagers so far. Well, just one, actually. I thought it was a bit more than that, but he's been harassing a long time. Demu having to push those archers away on the west side. Interesting game to start off my comeback, I guess. Yeah, and the trader's going to get 75 gold per minute, or per trip rather, and 7 food. Not too shabby at all. Demu just sort of trying to chase the army slightly. Khan moving a bit further forward and trying to snipe a villager. Might get one here, and I think Demu should react in time. Does just about, only just. That was a bit close. Those villagers need to back away and get protected, I think. But this outpost has done so much for the Mongols. It's achieved a lot. Up to 6 traders now. It's impressive. He's ahead on economy, ahead on military, and Demu possibly has maybe just one play in the book, which is getting to the castle ages. As long as he doesn't die whilst he gets up there, maybe there's a way of fighting this back with Varangian guards. We'll have to see what he can do. He's not getting the mercenary house. We'll be going for Keshiks. There's the Cairo Siphon to try and take down the outpost. He probably will achieve it, actually, considering. It might be a bit dicey, though, because Kiljadi does have a lot of army. Cairo Siphon doesn't take long to take down the outpost, though. Khan just about gets out of there. Attacking that wood line, gets a villager there as well. So killed 4 villagers in total. Nice pick off. The outpost is down. Wouldn't be surprised to see Demu just chuck a lot of villagers on that food, because he needs the food for the castle age. But this is going to be an important aspect of the game. So it's an important moment, getting access to the berries now, because that food is going to be great, going to give him mercenaries, but also food for the castle age. That's probably what he needs. All of a sudden now, Kiljadi is going to be playing a bit more on the back foot. He's probably feeling a bit confident about things, so he does have a good economy behind all of this. Up to 9 traders now. Getting some good income. In the meantime, though, Kiljadi gonna focus on the berries. He pulled away Demu's army a little bit. We'll snipe at one more villager. Nice pick off. Should be able to get a couple more, maybe 2 more. He's gonna focus on the villagers first, I think. No, maybe the army first. Gonna possibly take down the Cairo Siphon, which is a big pick, actually. Not to be underestimated. Archers focusing on the archers. Spearmen going to be the ones taking the Cairo Siphon down, although the army is heading there for Demu. Cairo Siphon probably will be taken down. I think he sacrifices the spearmen more than anything, and now he's going to back away. No need to take this fight, of course, for Kiljadi. He's got the better economy. He's going to be on the back foot a little bit, because those Keshiks going to rush them down. Archer's trying to get on out of there. Stealth Forest helps him a little bit. Trouble with the Keshiks, he's going to lose quite a few units. It does have the movement arrow, so should be able to get out of there a little bit easier. He needs to find a way to deal with the army that's coming in for Demu. Reinforcements need to be called on in. That's a lot of reinforcements. Holy smokes. He does have Steel Dagger as well, which certainly helps. Keshiks, of course, feud-age Keshiks for the Byzantines. Having said that, Demu is thinking about going to the castle age. You can see it. The food income is there. The gold income, not quite there just yet. But it's not far off. It's Demu's time to back away, but I love the fact that he was aggressive with the situation, bought himself some time. Needs to find a bit more gold to get to the next stage. Now, it doesn't really have the setup for the castle age just yet. No barracks being built. Doesn't have the wood for it. Keshik's running on in, and this time Kiljadi might have overshot a little bit. He's going to take the Keshik out first, and maybe then he can take a bit more of a trade. It should be okay for him, actually, all things considered. The production is up. The economy's behind all of this, so I think it's going to be a decent trade, I think, overall for Kiljadi. I think he feels that there's a tech up coming in for Demu, and he's not wrong. Golden Horn Tower, 14 villagers on that. Demu needs to survive, though. Going to take the trade a little bit. He's trading really well, actually, Demu, and all things considered. Kiljadi probably feels happy to take the fight. The thing for Kiljadi is he must not lose this army entirely, because if he does, he's going to be up against, well, the feud-age army that remains for Demu, but also the castle age that's coming on in. And he's almost there, Demu. He is almost there. The Keshiks absorbing a lot of the arrow fire. Keshik going to go for the village on the outpost. Outpost won't go up in the end. Probably should cancel the outpost, I imagine. Or he might sneakily... He took out the Keshik in the end. The villager might survive unless Demu moves a couple of archers. He doesn't. He backs away, so the outpost will be built. But the main important thing to recognize that Demu is up to the castle age. At level tier 3. The great thing, of course, with the system, not only does it scale the economy, also scales the production speed of their military buildings. He's pushed off for berries, not for the first time. Demu backing away. Kiljadi looking to get some damage out of this whilst he still can before the veterancy upgrades are in, but it's coming in quick time. Demu might get the veterancy upgrade at the perfect timing, actually. Might have to back away here, Kiljari. Vedrisi is in. He has to back away. But behind all of this, he's got a great economy. Great trade route. 13 traders at the moment. Now, the matchup, the way it works out now, most likely is Demu's possibly going to think about getting those relics and then a second town center to catch up with the economy. He's got to find a way to catch up with the economy because the longer this game goes, Kiljari just has to take relatively decent trades and his economy is scaling. And eventually he will overrun. So Demu does need to pick up relics, does need to get economy rocking and rolling. And he needs the army, the Castle Age army, to make sure he survives. Khan has been killed. And there is, in fact, a monk. Unfortunately, going to be sniped out pretty quickly by Kiljari. So nice pick off. He's going to take a trade here. He's got better numbers. Despite the veterancy there for Demu, I don't think this is terribly a good fight. He's going to take a trade though. Fighting underneath the town center, less than ideal for Kiljari. Doesn't want to commit to that, understandably so. The Kurultai coming on forward. This is going to be important actually for the Mongols. A great landmark for this situation to double down on the army that is existing on the field for the Mongols. And he's got to get there quick time. 14 villagers building it. And he's backing away for now. Kiljari doesn't want to lose this army before he gets the attack up, right? Because it'd be actually a big loss if he does. This is a lot of veteran archers there, potentially. But these Keshiks, this is a veteran Keshik. This is going to be a problem to deal with, that's for sure. Going to whittle down the numbers. It's going to be a good trade here for Demu for sure. He needs to thin the numbers down as much as he possibly can. Doesn't have the numbers advantage at all, but he's got the tech advantage. And yeah, this is going to be bad for Kiljari. He's going to lose his army at the worst possible time. But he has got to the Castle Age. Now the question is, what does he do with this? He probably won't go for the veterancy on the archers, I would imagine. Possibly thinking about veteran Keshiks of his own. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Maybe crossbows added in. No, he's going to go for the archers as well. So Keshik's archers, he's going to be upgrading his archers. Got a couple remaining, but yeah, he's going to commit to it. So Keshik archers for the Mongols. Was that crossbow and Keshiks for the Byzantines? Add in a couple of ringing guards too. Now, ringing guards at this stage is a bit awkward because the Mongols are on the Castle Age, and of course veteran Keshiks will do a decent job against them. Demo is starting to mine stone, so possibly thinking, but I mean, actually, he's getting 18 stone per minute, is he? Let's take a look. He's got villages on. No, he doesn't actually. It's the possibly building the foundations of buildings do give the Byzantines a bit of stone. That might be what it is indeed. Prayer tent. Looks like the Mongols look at a challenge for some of the relics as well. But Demu going to start picking them up already. He's already picked up one in the bank and it's got 3 on the way. So possibly it's just this one here remaining for the Mongols, I suspect. Kurultai packing on up. Or deploying, well, rather. It's a fascinating game of Age of Empires because the Byzantines now have been able to break out. And I think this is going to plan here for Demu. He's got the relics coming on in. Possibly could try and get another second town centre, because if he doesn't, as we said earlier in the cast, he's going to be outscaled in economy. Unless he does some significant damage with the army he's got. He does have a significant army lead. Of course, Kiljari did lose a lot of archers earlier on during the tech up. Keshiks on the check, Keshiks. And a couple of archers behind them for the Mongols. It should be okay, Kiljari, I think, overall. It's not going to be the best trade. To be fair, the Keshiks are getting a good reign on this for Demu. They will be taken down eventually, but the Varangian Guards possibly a problem for those archers for sure. Keshiks coming in now for the Mongols. Kiljari loses the Khan once again. Defender's advantage certainly there for the Mongols. The Kurultai has been a bit of a problem. He's blocking it, Demu. Nice micro to try and stop the Kurultai from deploying. It's a big deal. This adds so much to the fight. Kurultai does get deployed now, and so it's will be a much better fight for the Mongols. But great play there by Demu to just deny that. It's down to 7 militaries. It's not looking good for Kiljari. He needs to find a way to stabilize. Of course, he's not out of the game just yet, but he is running the risk here. Village on the wood line, definitely need to back away from that position. The good thing for Kiljari in a way is that the main army for the Byzantines is mostly infantry. Not the most mobile, and it means he can't really challenge the trade easily. If he does, then he allows obviously the Mongols to breathe in the middle of the map where his base is. So we shall see what Demu decides to do. Does he try and go for the throat, or does he go for the trade? Being able to take some olive oil now from the berries. Getting the map control, pretty important here for Demu actually. Now being able to extend himself to the middle gold. But the economy is pretty powerful for the Mongols. Now granted, the numbers are a little bit, misleading in some way because, of course, the Byzantines do have water level 5 now. That's going to be an extra 20%, 26% gather rate on those villagers. It's a big boost for sure. Both Scholar and Monk just contesting the sacred site. Just on the cusp as well. Kiljari just not able to get it. I mean, the Keshiks will take care of it now. The timing on that was impeccable for Demu. Demu just about to run on in, it seems. He wants to do some damage. We talked about the spreading out the economy for the Mongols with the trade. Having said that, the villagers on sheep, of course, really targeted down in the middle. Near the town centre, of course, a very big focus of attack potential here for the Byzantines. Doesn't quite have enough, it feels. Although the numbers would suggest so. A lot of the army is making a way across the map, I guess. Speaking of traders, does snipe out one. This could be a bit dicey for Demo. I'm not so sure he should take this. It looks like he will, though. He's going to take the trade. Ringing guards going on the wood line, getting some value out of this. But overall, I think it's going to be a good fight for Giljari. He'll have defender's advantage, is slowly going to whittle down the numbers. And the trade continues. He has killed 10 workers, though, overall, Demo. Which is more than Giljari's killed. Ringing guards again on that wood line. He's forcing a lot of idle time, that's for sure. A couple of Keshiks now. That's the mobility that he's been seeking to challenge the trade. The trade is now being challenged. All of a sudden, though, the Byzantines are a bit more on the retreat, a bit more on the defensive. And this is a problem, actually. I think Demu is running out of steam. This might start to invite a bit of pressure. He has done some eco damage for sure, actually. And the ratings from the Keshiks have actually achieved a lot. He's picking off traders, picking off villagers. And it's something that actually Giljari needs to deal with. Of course, the Mongols don't get walls. Going to have to rely on the static defenses in the form of the towers. The trade is almost shut down, actually, because of these two Keshiks. It's a big problem for Giljari. The eco advantage that he had is starting to dwindle. Don't forget, 4 relics in the bank for Demu and 2 sacred sites as well. He's taking the fight now. Good number of crossbows added into the mix there for Giljari. I like the switch because of the Varangian guards. Mostly an infantry-based army. I wonder if a couple of Mangonels could work quite well for the Byzantines. Again, the Keshiks there for Demu being a bit of a threat. Having said that, is being cleared up by Keshiks from the Mongols. But he does need to deal with this. No outpost emplacement. And healing up on the coral time. This is really effective for Giljari. That's a lot of olive groves. If Demu can survive for a bit longer, actually, he'll be in a really good position. He's going to get both olive oil and food out of this. His economy's looking good. 26% extra gathering because of the cistern water level. He's got 4 relics. But here come the Mangonels for the Mongols. This could be a big difference maker, actually. A couple of hits could be devastating for the Byzantines. He's starting to move further forward. Giljari, he smells blood. He wants to fight. It's got a lot of Keshiks involved. 2 Mangonels. That's a big deal. If the Kurultai can get good position, this is going to be a bit dicey for Byzantines. The reason why, this gold is in an awkward spot, right? Mangonels deploy, gets a good couple of hits. The veteran Keshiks tanking on that front line. Couple of horsemen added onto the mix. That horseman can't quite get on top of the Mangonels. The Kurultai didn't quite deploy there, which is a bit unfortunate. It's backing away for now. But the Mangonel's getting a lot of value, right? Ringer Guard's going to tank on the front line, but there's a lot of crossbow numbers. The Ringer Guards won't be able to fight this back, I don't think. Things are going from bad to worse for Demu. He's retreating. He gets a couple of shots on the retreat, and those 2 Mangonels surviving for the Mongols is a big deal. He's pushing on forward. Demu has to find a response to this somehow. He needs to find a way to consolidate his army. The trouble is, he's going to be inviting pressure. He needs to find a way to group the army together. He needs to buy some time somehow. The biggest problem for him, though, for Demu, is his gold income is going to be cut off. Kurultai getting right in between his base and the gold in a fantastic spot, and yeah, Demu is going to be struggling. Mangonel gets on the villagers repairing the Grand Winery, and he's losing a lot now, Demu. Don't forget the Mangonels can focus on the olive groves too. That's a heavy investment. Of course, the cost did increase for the Byzantines on the massive shot on the Mangonels. from on those villagers. Absolutely huge. And this is not looking too good for Demu's to find a way to stabilize somehow. I think the biggest problem is the Mangonels, though. The other stuff maybe you can try and hold off, but the Mangonels is really a big damage output unit. He's taking out the economy, taking out the infrastructure, possibly going to take out the Grand Winery before too long. He doesn't really even care about the town centre firing off at this point. Don't forget, the economy is still scaling behind all this for the Mongols. Did invest in a second town centre here, Demu, but he's going to struggle getting textiles. He's struggling on food income. He's got the income, doesn't have the bank of resources. Having said that, I think the income just needs a bit of updating, bit of catch-up, because there's no food coming in from the olive groves at this point. It really is just about Kiljali idling out the economy, and he's doing it really well. It does have a Mangonel placement inside the outpost at least. But it's going to lose access to these 3 relics. That's a lot of income going to be going away from the Byzantines. Fortunately, he doesn't have a siege workshop. He can't afford it. He doesn't have the gold for a Springald even. That's the biggest problem. It's gold. Trying to get an outpost here on the west side. To deny that word, to get even more pressure on. Kiljali just unrelenting. But that outpost might not go up in the end. I think Demu's going to spot that and try and challenge it. It should be able to get us around. It doesn't have any ranged units to try and take care of it just yet. But the melee unit should be quick enough to the punch. Mangonel's about to pop forward though. They are about to deploy a couple of Springalds for the Mongols as well. That makes things really tricky, because even if the Byzantines do get Springalds, the Mongols should be in a good spot to take them out. He's backing away, Demu, but he can't back away forever. Massive Mangonel shots on those villagers. Get absolutely decimated. And he's killed a lot now. Demu's economy in tatters. And this death push, this army, is just looking way too strong for Demu to deal with, I think, at this point. But he's coming out with the torches, going to go for the rams. He needs to. He's going to try and take down the rams if he can. But he's going to sacrifice a lot of villagers doing so. Mangonels might get a shot on them. He probably will lose the villagers to the Mangonels. I suspect he will. Even if he doesn't to the Mangonels, the Keshiks take them out. This is the last stand for the Byzantines. Has to find a way to hold on. Grand Winery on fire. Olive groves on fire. Spearman bracing against the Keshiks for now. But he needs to get on top of the Mangonels if he can. Still hasn't been able to take them out. Shots coming up. Everything is on fire. The olive groves are on fire. And there it is, gentlemen. Kiljali is on fire. Hope you guys enjoyed this casted game for Age of Empires. Well, it's great to be back. If you did enjoy the cast, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Take care, and see you next time.